Hello everyone, welcome to the Jenkins infrastructure team meeting. Today we are 29 July 2025. Around the virtual table you have myself, Damien Duportal, Sheredi, and Birajit. Hello Birajit.
Hi Damien, how are you?
Long day, long week.
Okay.
Thanks. And you?
I can say I'm 80 90% fine.
Okay. 10% not fine. I hope it's not too much. Okay, let's get
Uh
started with announcement. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I mean that 10% is like in my place it's touching around 47, 48 degrees Celsius. So that's the case for my 10%.
Okay. Okay, we had that temperature 10 days ago here in France, but today it was 11 Celsius, so really cold suddenly.
So,
I
what
mean,
part of India are you situated in, Biriji? Am I audible?
I yes, yes. I'm in northeastern state of Assam.
Okay, I see. Because it's raining almost everywhere else. It's
Uh,
monsoon season in most areas in the south right now.
No, actually, to be honest, 5 years before, our place was mostly like cooler. But recently, mostly the cities and towns, the trees have been cut down for road construction, and so for that, I can say that for that the temperature has like rose up around 7 to 10 degree more than what it was before 5 years.
Okay, I see. Yeah, so I guess we can get started.
no problem. Thanks for it. Okay, so on the announcement last week, we were able to release successfully Jenkins 2.520 in time, no issue. This week, the release 2.521 started on time 1 hour and a half ago, so in 2 hours it should be almost finished. On the announcement last week, we had an LTS release as well. Last Wednesday, we released 2.5.16.1. The main focus on this one is the new header. We have a new header redesign on Jenkins UI. That's a nice one that changed some habits, but that's a huge release, so thanks everyone involved. Reminder that except Thursday and Friday, Stefan will be off until end of August. So expect a bit less availability from the team as usual. And just a quick reminder about our priorities. We have the infrastructure roadmap. Right now, let me zoom a bit. If I filter infrastructure and services, the current priority is CI Jenkins IO out of Azure to AWS. We migrated the main service. We are currently diagnosing performances. And as part of that task, we have decommissioning the whole Azure sponsored account, which is the main priority right now. So we're still under this one, and then we will be able to update the roadmap. Are there any questions on the announcements? Things I could have missed, things to add? Nope. Okay, so let's have a look at the calendar. Next week, we will release the version 2.522 of Jenkins. That should happen the next Tuesday, the 5 August. Next LTS release is planned for the Wednesday, 20 August. That should be 2.5.16.2. We don't have a release lead yet. The release candidates will be the 6th of August for information. No action required by the infra team for the RC candidate. Security release, we don't have anyone planned. And we have 3 credentials that will expire in the upcoming 3 weeks. Stefan will focus on these 3. I've added the issues he created. So as soon as he's back for 2 days working, he will finish this one and he will go back in holidays. Thanks, Stefan. Any question on the upcoming calendar? Things to add? Okay, so then let's move quickly to the cloud budget. Main takeaway is we saw an increase in the monthly bill on the Azure CDF account, which is expected. We started 7 days ago to move workloads out of the Azure sponsorship subscription to that CDF account. For July, the forecast is at 4.2K. Our expected average threshold should be 4.5K. Reminder, as you can see, we used to be way below the threshold on the past months. So that's money that is not consumed yet. We have 60K for the whole year. Now, the expected forecast for August with the last workloads to move and the current consumption based on the past 7 days, we should expect consumption August at 5.8 up to 6, which means we will need to optimize and decrease the consumption soon, but not for August. Let's finish moving things and then optimize. Reminder, premature optimization is the root of all evil. So right now we have let down the CDF that we will have a peak of consumption for August and September that should then hit, let's say, stable in October. On Azure, still sponsorship account, since the past 5 days, we have a consumption of $57 daily. So we have 20 days left at this rate with the amount of credits remaining. So we are fine. That let us time to finish properly the last sensitive items. Digital Ocean consumption is steady, nothing to say. On AWS, on the cloud-based account that hosts PKG, census and usage virtual machines, we saw a slight increase. Haven't checked yet, but the increase is really minimalistic. So let's consider it nothing and we'll see. On the AWS sponsored accounts, a big increase as expected. We have a forecast at 4.7. We project 5.5K in August, which is fine. The threshold for now is 6K. If we stay below 6K monthly on that one, that means we can run CI Jenkins IO in this account up to end of July 2026. So we are fine. That's as expected, and we will optimize later. Finally, slight increase in JFrog, which is mainly because July has 31 days, while June has 30. That makes the difference. If you do the linear calculus, we are close. A slight increase on the storage, still logs. So we add 10 GB of logs each week, which is fine because these logs are really useful to help tracking the things that are consuming. On that matter, one, if not the biggest consumer, is ChatGPT from OpenAI. Yes. That one is downloading 1.5 terabyte up to 2 terabyte monthly of data from Artifactory, which is insane. However, it looks like they should respect robots.txt files. So we have requested JFrog to add one thing to tell, hey, please crawlers, stop crawling. We hope that will help us because yes, that's 5 to 8% of the monthly consumption. That is insane. We also have an unexpected consumption from infra.ci Jenkins IO, us, close to 800 gigabyte monthly. So that's also a quick win. We need to identify and eventually add caching on our own. So that's an infrastructure task. Mark has opened issues for our services that are marked as consumers. That's all for me on the cloud budgets. Are there questions, things that need clarification, things to add? Okay, cool. Now let's proceed. We were able to finish the following task during the past milestone. First, our top priority, decommissioning Azure sponsored subscription. We were able to successfully move the following workloads. All the Docker images cache, that's a transparent private internal proxy that we use to cache Docker Hub. The goal is to have faster Docker pool images, but also to avoid reaching the rate limit on Docker Hub. That one also allows us to download less data out of Docker Hub, making us first-class citizens. Reminder, the Docker Hub is free for us, they sponsor us, so if we could decrease the amount of data that we hit them with, that will help them paying less for the outbound bandwidth. We all have the same issues. We also moved all the virtual machine ephemeral agents for both trusted cert and infra private controllers. And finally, we were able to move all the Packer imaged workloads. A note about this one. Initial billing shows it is a huge consumer. So not only on storage, but also on virtual machine usages. That means our system to build images on Packer is creating way more billing and virtual machine activity than we thought. So there might be improvement for us here. That's a topic to check for end of August. Now, on the next tasks, we were able to fully switch the last infra CI controller to what we call workload identity management that allow infra CI to manage its ephemeral virtual machine agent, the one we migrated, without any need for a credential. So less work for us because we don't need to renew the credential. Each time it has to make a request, it generates a credential valid for 1 hour based on the Azure facilities. That's way safer. In any case, if someone breaches InfraCI, they can get access to the credential or the non-credential technique, so that doesn't change the safety of that private controller. Any questions so far? So all of these were part of our top priority. Now, on the a bit less important but still priority, support tasks. We had two websites that were failing to deploy in production. The first one was status Jenkins.io. Mark cooked the issue a few days ago. The root cause was described in the issue. The root cause was we were using a Netlify outdated configuration that was using Ubuntu 20.04 base image, which is almost end of life. And that one has dependency issue with Hugo, Ruby, and Node.js. Alas, we cannot configure that as code, so we had to fix this manually inside Netlify Web UI. Right now, only Stefan and I have access to this. We need to invite Mark and soon Jay once he will have his new machine.
It should be in about a week.
Yes. Yeah,
That should be in about a week. Yeah.
Okay, and time to set it up, receive it and stuff, but soon. That's good
Yeah.
news. Plugins Jenkins.io also was failing to deploy, not because of Netlify, but because while migrating infra CI agents, I was a bit aggressive in cleaning up some credential that looked unused. In fact, it was used here, so that broke the deployment. So both of these problems have been fixed immediately once reported. So thanks for the people who reported them, and it's now working as expected. Now, we generalize the Netlify updates to all of the Netlify project we had. So none of the other Netlify-based websites that we manage will have failure due to Ubuntu or outdated Node.js. And also, we were able to deploy the LTS release as soon as it was available last week. So on CI Jenkins.io, but also other private controllers such as Trusted or Cert. Are there any questions on the task that we're able to finish? Cool, so now work in progress. Right now, most of our work is focused on the two first tasks here. So I'm starting the private cluster that hosts Infra CI and Release CI is currently being migrated to the new sponsored subscription. Thanks, Jay, for also raising the problem that Infra CI was down since this night. So that should be fixed by the migration, but I also identified the mistake I made. I will create an issue to report every areas where I broke things that led to Infra CI being done. Okay? The status is we need to migrate infra CI, then release CI. So tomorrow that should be finished. Now, Jay, your turn. On the monitor builds, which is of private instances, what's the status for
Yeah,
you?
there's a current blocker that the current blocker is that infra CI is down. So testing is paused for the time being. And also, yeah, we've started research for the integration of Datadog. Yeah, that's about it for the issue. Is there anything I missed?
That's good. That's clear. While you're there, Jay, your
Yeah.
issue before InfraCI was down about errors during the deployment of the file,
Yes.
it's because if you look carefully, main is a file while PR46 is a directory. At a
Okay.
moment in time, there was a mistake in the pipeline library that uploaded the JSON file under the name main. If you run a curl request or download the main file, you will see it's a status JSON file, in fact. So the
Okay.
problem you are facing is now with the fixed code, because the code you fixed looks really good. When AZCopy try to upload the status JSON inside the directory, there results already a
Okay.
file which is not a directory. So AZCopy doesn't understand and mark that as an error, an HTTP error, which is a standard
Okay.
web service behavior. So one first step you need to do is to find a way to delete the main item, which happened to be a file, and then that should unblock everything. I can do it for you in Azure if needed one time.
No, I think I will probably work on this and
Okay,
try to figure it out myself.
there is an unexpected file instead of a directory. I would have wanted you to search for this, but with Infra CI done, you don't have access to the log that help you see that. So I'm cutting
Yeah,
the edge
exactly.
here and giving you the solution. Once Infra CI is up and running, please check the log now, just to be sure that you map what I
Yes.
explain. Okay?
Okay.
Thanks for the report. Next topic, tombstone puppet. So Jack did start to gather and write down information. More question, more back and forth happening in the issue. It's about Ansible structuration and requirements. Now on the Keep platform up to date, GDK patch upgrade campaign. That one is almost finished. We are waiting for today's weekly release, and that's all. And then we can close that issue.
There's a typo uh, today.
Thanks.
Today's.
LF ops people have question unanswered, because we need to reset the Jira LDAP binding password. Yes. The password used for Jira to bind securely to the LDAP so that LDAP connection can happen when you authenticate on Jira. That password is stored in a safe way, encrypted way, and we're not able to decrypt it or find a clear version anywhere. So that's good. That means it's stored safely, but that's a bit embarrassing because we cannot try the new Jira instance for staging. So we need either a new password to unblock them, but in any case, we will need to reset the password. So that means Jira will be unavailable until they change the password. So we need to plan carefully for that. I will wait for Mark to help me on this one once he's back from holidays. On the support part, the only issue which is not delayed, so it's the GSOC organization administrator. Looks like we don't have that administrator access. So I've requested to Gitter support to get access again. So now we're waiting from Gitter support. All the other issue have been stalled due to the amount of work, so they stay on the milestone, but we will continue working on them or at least following. Are there any question on the done or work in progress things? Did I miss something or need for clarification? Nope. Okay. In terms of triaging issues, I've already pre-triage, so I'm proposing the triage. Let me know if you need explanation. First, Mark opened two distinct items about Artifactory downloads because both CI Jenkins.io and Infra CI Jenkins.io have been marked as huge consumers by the logs, the analysis of the logs by Darwin and Basil. So we are going to add these two issues in the new
Do we know
milestone. And
what jobs? Do we know what jobs are
no,
causing the increase in bandwidth? So,
no, we don't. In the case of
okay.
Infra CI, we know it is from virtual machine ephemeral agent. So that most probably jobs that require Docker, because that's by default the reason why you would use a virtual machine ephemeral agent. Otherwise, you will use a Kubernetes container. So that points eventually at Docker jobs.
Okay.
Didn't spend much more time on this one. It's really hard because we don't details every request going out on the internet, because this will have huge cost on Azure to track, because you need the logs and you need to store the outbound logs if that's the case. And that thing will cost
Yes.
us 500 per month at least, which is really insane. So we will need to search by searching the dependencies. For CI Jenkins.io, most probably ACP does not cache well the WAR files, the old WAR files. So we'll need to see what we can do about that. That's why I've added them. Infra CI is a quick win. Does it answer your question, Jay?
Yeah.
Thanks. We have three issues created by Stefan about credentials. So these one are added by default. They should be done Thursday or Friday by Stefan. And finally, I'm putting back an issue that was opened by Valentin. John's busy, is his handle in GitHub. There is a GSOC project that might need a new repository, so that should be a quick one as well. All the other issues are either delayed or too big to fit the upcoming milestone. At first sight, are there any objection, question, things to add on that proposed triage?
No.
Nope. Cool. So that means we are done for today. Are there other
Yeah,
things
I
you
think
want to
this
discuss?
is a record time.
Yes, I'm the only one who
Yeah.
spoke almost except you for your tasks. Yep. Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop screen sharing. So for people watching the
I
recording, see you
try to
next
give
week.
you some company.
Thanks, I appreciate.
Yeah.
But you help.
Bye-bye.
Okay, stop screen share.